People came to our golf tournament the first 3 years, and on the third or fourth year, they said, we don't even really know what you guys do.
I mean, our idea stemmed from colleges.
Our latest donations put us over $170,000.
It's whatever falls under the high school activities list, which is robotics, student council, choir band.
We're never going to not do our best to make kids the best that they can be. We're there to supplement the needs. Great example is the Carter Gilson's weight room expansion.
We've had 2 referendums now fail, figuring out how to get by with what they have.
To say, yes, we expect to fill those trophy cases, and we expect to compete.
A scholarship of $1,000 every year to a graduating senior, and every year at homecoming we draw a name and give that program $1,000. They don't even have to ask.
Whatever they need, right? We don't want a kid in this community to go without. If they want to play band and they can't afford a trumpet, we're going to buy them a trumpet.
Hey everybody, on today's podcast, we have members of the Tiger Alumni Foundation, President Eric England, and myself as a sitting board member, and we want to share with you everything about the Tiger Alumni Foundation, how we started, what our mission is, and more importantly, how you can be part of it. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Princeton Podcast, your go-to source for everything happening in and around Princeton. Join your hosts, Zach, Mary, and Kim, 3 locals who live and work right here in Princeton, as we bring you the latest events, exclusive interviews with local businesses, and stories that make our town special. Your community, your stories, your podcast.
All right, well, welcome to the podcast, Eric. We have kind of a unique situation today because one of our hosts, Mary, is also on the Tiger Alumni Foundation. So Mary and Eric will kind of be answering questions together since they've both been on. Have you both been on the board since the start?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
So let's just start with the basics. What is the Tiger Alumni Foundation? How to get started?
Well, it started in April of 2019 is when we actually became a foundation. It was kind of born of Mary had called me because she had ran a tournament for the a golf tournament for the hockey arena the year before, and then called and asked if I would help with it because obviously involved with hockey, but I'd ran a number of golf tournaments before that, and so we got a crew together and ran that hockey golf tournament, and it was successful. And we started talking about it and kind of brainstorming from there and saying, gosh, we could really put money towards everything to do with youth in Princeton, sports and athletics and academics and, the arts and all that, how the need was great everywhere. So brainstorming, and that was
Kind of how it was born?
Jump in if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, we wanted to, basically our mission is to give back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what we always say is to give back, because obviously all of us on the board we're alumni, and we've all been through activities and also know the shortage of money that Princeton in particular has. So we're like, let's do something to help, and we started small. I don't think that we ever thought we would get this big, and we're growing bigger every year. I think I keep shouting the number out, 150,000, but it might be more.
I just updated it. We're over, our latest donations put us over 170,000.
Okay.
Wow, that's incredible.
All back to schools. And so when we say, well, I shouldn't say schools, I should say activities. And when we talk about activities, we don't mean just sports. It's whatever falls under the high school activities list, which is robotics and like student council, choir band. We cover it all the extracurricular activities that fall under the activities office is eligible to apply for a donation from us.
Well, and I know I was on the all-night senior class party for about 5 years, and you guys have always been good supporters of that too, which impacts, the entire senior class.
Yep.
And to have a night after graduation where it's alcohol-free and safe, and everybody is together overnight for one last hurrah. And so I know that's really appreciated well.
Yep, we still do that every year. We provide the T-shirts.
Okay, yeah. So every single student that attends the party gets a T-shirt.
You bet.
Yep, and it has, I think you guys have your logo on the sleeve or something, and then the theme of the night is on the T-shirt. So it's pretty cool that everybody has that. I still have my T-shirt from 1988
my
from our all-class party. And we also got a coffee mug.
I do not have
Yeah.
one. Did
So-
we get T-shirts?
I remember a T-shirt.
I don't know why you wouldn't have.
We've got bucket hats. I know that.
So did we. We got hats,
and
like jungle hats or
I
something.
still have my can koozie and my bucket hat. I put it all
Okay.
in a tote. I still
Yeah.
have it, but yeah.
That's where mine is, all in a little tote. Yep. So, so that's good to know because I think maybe there is a thought out there that maybe it's just for athletics.
Yeah, no, it's not.
And, you know, the other thing I'd like to ask about is booster clubs. I've also been on a member of a booster club for track and cross country. And the booster clubs raise money specifically for any extras that their sports might need that the school can't cover. So how are you different? And how does that work, like, with your relationship with booster clubs and things like that?
Well, we kind of supplement, the booster clubs are specific to the activity, like you said. Obviously, we umbrella over the top, but we supplement things that maybe they can't or come short on. But then also, we don't give to booster clubs.
Mm-hmm.
We give specifically for things. And I gotta, booster clubs, I'll take my daughter for example. She played on the high school girls program this year, and the booster club raised an incredible amount of money. They bought things like the food for the girls, the buses, coach buses, because they travel a long ways for a lot of their games, stuff like that. We don't really go into that. We go into more of, does the program need things that they have to do it? Pucks, with the girls program, do they need tape? Do they need pucks? Do they need things like that? It's kind of more of a wants versus needs, in my opinion.
Yep. and
So
we're
the
the
booster club is more like, how can we make this a really fun experience for these athletes on this particular sport?
Mm-hmm.
And where you guys are more like, well, we need, like
Yep.
you said, pucks, otherwise we can't play.
Exactly, and they're both important too, right? Because let's be real. We're never gonna tell kids, or we're never gonna, as coaches, we're never gonna not do our best to make kids the best that they can be, and all that. But the blunt reality is 99% of them aren't gonna play past high school, right? That's just reality.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so one thing that I've come to realize, I guess through my my own coaching experience and stuff, is trying to understand that it is a lot the experience, right? My daughter, for example, they didn't win a lot of games this year, but the girls had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Their coaches, everybody bought into the team. They became a tight-knit group of girls, of great people, and they had a great experience. She had a lot of fun.
Yep.
And so that's just as important. So we're certainly not taking away from, we're saying that wants versus needs aren't, one's more important than the other. We're there to supplement the needs.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and the other thing about that maybe kids don't realize while they're in it is that they're going to remember this, actually good or bad, truthfully, but we want it to be good experience. For the rest of their life, they are going to go back and think about their high school sport, and even those that, and the experience, and even those that go, I think my oldest son, he went to Mankato to run track, and one thing he said is that there's just nothing like being in high school with all of your friends performing to the best. They had, his senior year was like the best they'd had in cross country in 50 years or something like that, and he just said there's nothing better. You're doing this with all your buddies, performing at the top. And then when you go to college, you don't know anybody in the team. It's more of a job. It's just like, so to make that high school experience, they don't realize it till they leave.
You bet.
And so that's what I think is great about all these, what you guys do, what the booster clubs do, to make that experience really good.
Yeah.
Because
the best it can be.
yeah, so what are some things that you have funded? I know that I remember you was standing on the track. I'm trying to remember what it was with the big
love
check.
to do our big checks.
Yeah. What was it for the track and field? Do you recall? Was it a timing?
Yeah.
Timing
Okay.
system.
We were the last school in the conference or district or something that was still using stopwatches, is what we got told. And so they have some kind of laser system that gives precise timing. And so $3,000 is jumping out at me that it costs for that machine.
3,500, 3,000.
Somewhere in there. But yeah, so they came to us and we bought it for them. And so they've got that. And
that's another thing about school pride. Like when you say this is the last school the kids, they go to these other schools and they see all this amazing equipment they have and they're using, and they come back to Princeton, wah, wah, so it's really nice to be able to have that.
Yeah.
So that they're, it gives them a sense of pride too.
And it's we raise all this money to do exactly what you just said, is give our students here in Princeton the opportunity that other students have. Like, some of the things that we have funded would only come from us.
Right.
So for baseball, we did a portable batting cage.
Yeah, the
Can't remember
inflatable batting cage.
Inflatable
Yeah.
batting cage. Like, that's not something that the school would probably pay for.
Right.
Because it's definitely a want. But all the other schools have them.
And
so we bought
it
that
helps
for them.
improve.
Yes.
Well, and we did argue about that because, batting cage, it maybe is a want, it maybe is a luxury, but you gotta, if it's not the days of it's not the 90s when we just showed up and played hockey anymore. They get there early and they're kicking soccer balls and actually becoming, finely tuned athletes, let's be real. And
right.
So, maybe it is a want or a luxury, but the truth is our guys and gals got to be doing soft toss and they've got to be hitting and seeing balls before they play. So to me, I remember we did argue that is a need, and we did, we kind of did.
If you're comparing or if you're keeping up, it's not,
right.
It's different than providing food for a team. Or we've had people ask, for example, to purchase their, suits.
Right.
Their track suits,
yes.
for example, their apparel.
Yeah, their apparel.
No, that's not something that we're going to do. We're not going to buy backpacks for certain teams. We're not going to, we do, like Eric said, we argue because we do. We banter back and forth about when we're approving these things to make sure that it's under what we said, under our mission and what we want to give to. And
and the thing is that you're also not so much wanting to keep up with the Joneses, but kind of.
Yeah.
With other schools have this, I think about, my experiences with track and cross country, but, we would go to, in the spring, early spring, we would go to Foley maybe, or St. Mora, somebody that has an indoor, track and field, indoor field house.
Mora,
and
Becker.
Yeah, and they'd, pull out the part of the floor so that they could do the long jump and things like that. And I'm thinking, these students and athletes here have been able to practice and get ahead of the game way more than Princeton, because
every day.
Every single day they can go in and do this, and we don't have those. So when you talk about things like that, might be a luxury, well, other schools are getting ahead of,
right.
And we want to be able to keep up and compete.
Yeah.
So some of those things, even though it might be a luxury.
But it's training.
Yeah, it's training.
And it doesn't affect one group of people. We make sure we go back to the head coach who's requesting the money, and we want to make sure, we ask all the questions like, who is this all going to affect? Mm-hmm. Are you going to be letting the youth use this? Are you, will ninth grade, will JV, how much of the program are you going to let use this? Because we want to touch as many kids as we can with what we give.
Yep.
And so we ask those questions and
how it's going to impact the most people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a great example is we gave a lot of money towards the weight room expansion. Juleson's Carter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Carter Juleson's weight room expansion, and we gave a lot of money towards that, and because guys, gals, whenever they start lifting weights nowadays, 6th, 7th grade, and all the way through, that's a lot of kids going through that. So that was something that we definitely wanted to. We jumped behind that proudly.
Yep. And again, you go to other schools, and it's like,
right.
You can see them through the window, all the different, the bikes and the,
right.
So it's, to be able to at least have it is a beautiful weight room, is what that turned into compared to what it was. So.
Right.
It might not be state of the art, but it is really nice for the space we have here.
You bet.
Yeah, I was trying to think last night what programs we haven't given to yet. It started off really slow, because we had to get our name out there and we had to let the head coaches know. And I think they were hesitant at first, well, no, we don't need this, or we have a booster club, but now that we're out there and people know what our intention is, we meet on the first Monday of every month, and we always have a request.
Always, huh? That's pretty cool.
Almost always.
Yeah, there's there's months that we'll have 3 requests, and then there's
Yeah.
maybe one where we'll have none.
Yeah.
It's it goes with the sports seasons a lot.
And it used to be where we would be excited to get one. Like, we got one.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
out
it did.
there.
It
People know about us.
Exactly. It took a bit to get going and get known, and we tried to get our name out there and let people know to request money, but now it's going pretty good now.
Yeah, and I think too that I remember being on the booster club for track and cross country, and when I was on it, it was our first ever. We had a hard time talking Tom Ostrud into letting us do a booster club.
Yeah.
And so I think when we first met and we were trying to make a budget and things like that, and it was hard for him to think of things that he would want, because I think we've had 2 referendums now fail. That first one was gonna, I think, included a community center field house type of thing.
Yeah.
I think we've made do with what we have for so long
Yeah.
that Tom is just like, and many coaches are used to just figuring out how to get by with what they have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's even hard to think in that direction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now I think they're starting with you guys to think, oh, we could really benefit from this piece of equipment or whatever, where maybe they just weren't thinking that way before.
I think that's a great point, and that's something that we want Princeton to expect excellence. Right, and it's you're right. We go to another town and we see some of their facilities, and it's like, wow. And the world has shrunk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we're trying to keep our kids home.
Yep.
Maybe even bring in a family or 2 that comes in and says, wow, this town. I mean, we don't have to go through. Every sport probably has a different town, but there's towns that town, you think of that town, and that signifies that they expect excellence.
Yes.
And that's what we want for Princeton. We want Princeton to say, yes, we expect to fill those trophy cases, and we expect to compete with our community peers, I mean,
Yep.
it's one thing to say that we're going to go down to the big cities and compete with community or centers of 50,000 or whatever,
Right.
but
Yeah.
but we've got a lot of towns in our area, and we expect to compete and beat them. It should be that.
Yep.
In our opinion, it should be that we just, we're the Princeton Tigers, and we are always going to be really, really hard to play against.
Yes. And
So-
without some of this, stuff that you guys provide, it makes it a lot more difficult because other schools are ahead of us, or they are, I don't know, they have things that we don't because they maybe have more money, or
Right.
they're,
For sure.
And
Yeah.
that's, and
Bigger
that's to your
budgets.
point,
Yeah.
that maybe, we've got to change that culture, or not change, but adapt that culture to coaches should expect that, hey, yeah, we're going to have high training, programs, and we're going to start really pumping out quality athletes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. So can you guys share, do you recall like a story that sticks out of a organization that you donated to that was really stood out in your mind for either one of you?
Gosh, we've given so much to
I have
so
one.
many different people.
You have one. All right.
Our play came to us, and they needed, was it, I forget, a few thousand or 5,000 or something
Projector.
to rent a projector,
Mm-hmm.
because
Musical.
Mm-hmm.
it's a musical, sorry.
Yep.
And they needed money, and we were like, none of us really had a clue what they were talking about.
Yeah.
We asked some questions and got feedback and stuff, and we're like, okay, apparently, instead of building the stage like they did in our day, right, the projector can do it all. And so we were like, wow, that's a lot of money for a projector. We didn't understand what it was.
Yeah.
And then we went, well, what if we just, how much is it to buy one? Well, it was like $80,000 to
Yeah.
buy one. So we're like, oh, okay.
Wow.
And so we ended up ultimately approving it, and they were so appreciative.
Mm-hmm.
They gave us remember, what did they give us?
They gave us tickets to the musical.
Tickets to
they
the
brought
musicals.
us on stage.
They
Oh my
announced it, and they were
gosh.
and it was not all of us were able to attend with the timing, but a handful of us did go to them, and they did a great job. cheers for those young kids for doing what they do. I could never get up there and do a musical.
Me either.
I know.
It's amazing what they do.
Yep, 100%.
It is. Every
So-
time I leave a musical, I'm like, wow.
I know.
Yeah. So, and they were just so appreciative of it, and I feel like, maybe some of those programs are the forgotten programs a lot, and they shouldn't be,
No.
right?
Yep.
And those kids should be supported too, and celebrated. And like I said, they were just so appreciative of that, and we were so happy to do it for them. And so that's one that sticks out for me.
That is so awesome. I didn't realize that was a thing either.
Yeah, right.
Renting a projector.
Yeah, and so basically, they don't have to build as much for the set,
As
or
much, yeah.
Okay, because they still have some that they build out. And,
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've
Oh.
learned a lot, that's for sure.
You bet,
In
yep.
all of these
You
requests
bet.
that we've gotten, and there are some that probably do stick out for me, but what I'm really super proud of in our group is that the way we've evolved. So now we give a scholarship every year.
Oh,
We
okay.
give a scholarship of $1,000 every year to a graduating senior. We're present at every homecoming.
Okay.
And so we put every single activity, like I said, that's under the activities office, which includes speech
Everything.
and everything.
Everything you can imagine.
Yep.
We put them all in a bucket. And every year at homecoming, we draw a name and give that program $1,000. They don't even have to ask for it. We just give it to them.
That's so
Here's $1,000.
cool.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
we also we support what's called the Angel Fund at the high school. And we give a certain amount of money every year. We always make sure there's enough in this
Yep.
fund for students who maybe can't pay for something that they want to do in an extracurricular activity or something that, of a sports fee, or maybe they can't afford to buy basketball shoes or whatever it is. And it's confidential. We don't know who the student is. We don't know, that's all left up to the counselors at the school. But I just think that that's a really, really good thing that we're supporting. And
Well, another thing since you brought that up, we had a conversation toward the end of my time on the Booster Club where we were going to purchase. We were discussing doing a scholarship from the track and cross country, and then we got into this discussion about how, the scholarship goes to one person, but we could maybe use the money to buy everybody T-shirts, and then everybody's like, a T-shirt, we just throw them away. But then what it came up is that the coach mentioned there are kids that play these sports that, every Booster Club puts out here's all the apparel, it's like $50 for a sweatshirt, or they cannot afford to buy any of that stuff. So they're kind of left alone on that. So that's, great, because there's, that's that one thing that just kind of makes you feel, sort of like forgotten. Everybody else is walking around with all this new apparel and stuff, and it's there's families that can't afford that.
You bet. And that's that goes back to the experience and stuff of having matching clothes or jackets or whatever, and that's a whole different that's a whole different whether you agree with it or not, right? Like I don't care if my hockey players' gloves match or things like
Right,
that.
yes.
But it doesn't make that right.
Right.
Doesn't make it wrong. And so one thing my family grew up with 5 kids and not a lot of means, and so it was hard when we were expected to buy certain things just to match or whatever. And so going back to the Angel Fund, one thing that I love about the Angel Fund is it's more or less driven by the student council.
no, counselors.
Or the
The high school counselors.
Okay.
So the guidance counselors.
guidance counselors.
Yep.
And then like she said, it's confidential, and it kind of, when we first started talking about the Tiger Alumni Foundation, our big thing is kind of what helped shape our mission statement was, I remember us always saying, we don't want a kid in this community to go without.
Right.
Whether that be a field trip, whether that be, whatever they need, right? We don't want a kid in this community to go without. If they want to play band and they can't afford a trumpet, we're going to buy them a trumpet. And So that angel fund is great. It's a great situation. It's like she said, it's 100% anonymous. We don't have a clue. We don't get names. We don't get anything.
Yep.
All we get is that a family is in need and they need a trumpet, and it's $400 for a trumpet. We're buying them the trumpet.
That's awesome.
Yeah, backpack, school supplies, calculator.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then
We've done
don't.
graduation gowns before.
That is
A
so
senior
cool.
who they can't afford to get the gown and hat and tassel, and so
We do.
provide
I mean,
that.
I know the senior party does something similar, to where it's just, we need this person to be able to go
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not pay.
You bet.
And they make that decision because then you don't have to set up people don't have to feel, uncomfortable coming to you as strangers and,
Right,
that's a great thing. Should we maybe take a quick break here for our commercial and then come back and kind of talk about how people can support the Tiger Alumni Foundation?
Yes,
Okay.
for sure.
Did you graduate from Princeton High School? Then this is for you. You don't want to miss this fun event we have coming up this summer on June 6th at the Princeton Ice Arena. We're hosting the Princeton All-Class Reunion. The fun starts at 5 p.m., and if you visit the website on the link below, you can find out more information and how to get tickets. Hope to see you there. Okay, and we're back. Okay, so what I'd like to talk about, you guys, obviously, you get your money through mainly fundraising. Am I correct in saying that?
Yep.
So you mentioned the golf tournament. You do that every year,
Yeah.
and that's coming up in,
May 29th.
okay?
Yep.
Registration is open. This is our biggest fundraiser so far.
And I know it fills every year
Fast.
very quickly,
Yep.
so.
It's really fun.
The golf tournament's really, it has been our bread and butter. It is, and it's a fun day. It's a great day. We take pride and we brag that we do the best tournament of the summer right out of the gate. It's usually the first one of the summer, and like you said, it fills up.
Yeah.
Every year it fills up.
The chamber one is pretty good too. So.
It is a good one.
is-
That is a
Second
good one.
best. Second
That
best.
is. We fill up. We have to bring in extra golf carts. We give away a lot of prizes and good prizes, and usually, knock on wood, we've had a lot of good weather days and a lot of great crowds and a lot of fun, a lot of money raised there.
There's going to be another good weather day this year. You got to put it in the universe.
Even the bad weather days. So we had one year it absolutely downpoured, like hard, where you can't see. It rained so hard, and we had a delay. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I guess I do. Yep, I do.
It was 1 year, and it was just, but it was still, we were
But,
still
yeah.
super successful.
Yeah.
People had fun. And then they're like, well, let's just go up to the clubhouse for an
Yeah.
hour until it passes,
Right.
and everybody's absolutely drenched.
Yeah, that was our golf tournament last year.
Yes,
It was
the
rain the
chamber.
entire time. So it happens,
Yeah.
but people they're committed. They know it's a fundraiser. They're there to have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they golf 8 holes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not.
But it is getting a little bit more competitive now. A little bit.
There's a few teams that go for it every year.
Yeah.
No doubt,
Yeah.
And yeah, we give prizes for the men's team and the women's team and the co-ed team. And so I think, we get repeat teams every year.
Yeah.
Year in and year out, we get repeat teams, and then we get some new or whatever. And that is the huge majority of the money that we're able to give back out.
Yeah.
Is off of that.
Yep.
So this is your 7th?
This was we're coming up on 7 years.
Okay. Okay, this will be your 7th tournament then. How fun.
Yeah.
So what other kind of fundraisers do you guys do? We were talking a little earlier off camera about bar cards. Tell us about that.
Yeah, go ahead, Eric.
Yeah. Well, I guess the two small ones before the bar cards, because the bar card is the newest one. But really, up until these bar cards, our only fundraising has ever been the golf tournament, and then the Kentucky Derby that we've done for a handful of years.
Yeah,
Oh.
4 or 5.
Okay.
We do a day. That's the one that I would like to get out more.
Yeah.
Get more people involved with that one. It's not as big. It's up at the golf course, and it's the day of the Kentucky Derby. We, dress up. Girls get to wear the big hats
Yeah.
and the dresses, and guys usually wear some kind of jockey uniform or something
Okay.
funny, right? We've had guys, last year we had guys show up in really nice suits, and their wives had nice dresses and hats,
Fun.
and act like you're at the Derby. And
Yeah.
we do that horse race board game.
Mm-hmm.
We do the hockey arena has the gambling up there, so we work together with them, and then they'll do a meat raffle, and then they do the what are those things called?
Horse races,
The
like
horse
the
races on
popular
the
pull
TV.
tab.
you know?
Yep, on the TV,
Yeah.
yeah.
They do those, and so it's just a full day of getting to come up and hang out. I think they definitely do drink specials, and what are the mint juleps? I think we tried that one year, but nobody really liked it.
Yes, the like, where is the, so it's bourbon is the.
Yeah, it's
You
some
gotta
kind
figure-
of bourbon.
Kentucky,
You
right?
got to figure out how to make Busch Light a
Yeah.
Kentucky Derby
There you
drink.
go. Right, yeah.
It is in Princeton.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do the course does a great job, and the hockey arena does a great job. We all work together, and just make it a fun, like we have a beer bust.
It's a beer bust,
It's a
yep.
beer bust too. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. So it's a beer bust. So come up, $20, you can drink all the beer you want, you can try the specialty drink, you can do whatever, and then you get to gamble, you get to play the horses, you get to play the video horses, and you
Fun.
get meat raffle, and then
50-50.
and then we do a 50-50 with, you get to gamble on the actual Kentucky Derby. You win tickets, and then you get to put them in on what horse you think. And then
Fun.
the 50-50 usually is quite a bit of money. And then if you pick the horse that got last, you can win a specialty bottle of that year's official bourbon for the Kentucky Derby.
Cool.
So that's it's not as big of a moneymaker, but it's just a way for us to be able to have a fun day and kind of, again, spread the TAF name and
That sounds
and
like
get
a
some different
blast.
people up there.
It
Yeah,
is fun.
Yeah.
It is fun, and it's just, everybody that goes they're good people.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yep, just there to have fun.
Yeah.
So
So
there's
to have fun and talk and visit, and yeah, it's kind of the kickoff to summer. And then we're also able to promote our golf tournament at that time.
So that
which
must be
is
coming up in April?
May. So hopefully the golf tournament it probably will be full
By then,
but
yeah.
yeah. I mean, it'll be close to, but
Yeah.
yeah, that'll usually that'll give people reminders, or hey, tournament. Oh yeah, we want to get signed up for that. So that's a good one. What am I forgetting?
Well, sometimes we have apparel. Sorry. Sometimes we have apparel on hand. We always sell at homecoming.
Yeah.
We give out T-shirts, but we have sweatshirts and hats and things that we can make a little bit extra money on by selling. And plus, we just want to get our brand out there.
Exactly.
And then we have a Venmo, so
Okay.
that people can just donate at any time.
Yeah. So then, aside from those, new this year is the bar card. Quick version of it is I came across it last summer and thought it was a really good idea and presented it, and a few of us took it and kind of ran with it. And so it was actually Mary, Cassie, and myself. We went around to a lot of bars and just recruited, talked to them about it, and 22, I think, signed up for this first round.
I think 22. Yep.
22.
Yep.
And so it's, in a nutshell, it's pretty easy. You get the card and you go to whatever bar is participating, and you get a buy one get one for that day. You don't one per visit per person type of deal, but each bar sells them. That's on the card. We sell them, and
$20.
$20 for the card.
Yeah.
And how many times can you use them? Like, go to Sunken Ship, I go there, I get a buy one, get one. Can I use it again?
You get one time
Per visit, but then
you
can I
get-
go back?
There's
Four times I
there's
can go back.
Four
Yeah.
notches on the card
Got
that you
it.
get to go there.
Yeah.
So you get
Okay.
4 buy one get ones at each bar.
So
And
it pays for
so,
itself very quickly.
Yeah.
Do the math. Somebody actually did do the math, and they told me that it was like $360 value or something if they averaged out the cost of the beer. So it's a great value if you go. But like the bars, they were excited about it because the couple that I've been to since that I don't normally go to, I thank them for being on it, and they say this has increased traffic for us. People don't just come in and get their buy one get one. They're buying a hamburger, or they're buying cheese curds or
Yes.
something like that. So they seem to be really happy with it. The people that I've talked to that have bought them have been really happy with it. And it's too early to know the numbers.
Yeah.
This is our first. So they're good for 6 months, and we are going to have the next one. It's just every 6 months it's going to be another $20 card that's going to come out. And like I said, we really won't know the average of what these are making probably till next year sometime. But
So where are you in the 6 months of the first card?
so the first card started January 1st.
Okay.
And goes till the end of June.
June,
So
okay.
July 1st will be the next
Got it.
card.
Yep.
Okay. But I mean, seriously, even if you purchase it,
I mean, it's $20.
I mean, even if you
Right.
purchase it in May,
Oh, yeah.
you're going to easily
Right.
pay for it.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's pretty easy to, if you do
Oh,
well. And,
yeah, we're gonna sell them at the class reunion.
Are you? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just tell people, like,
Yep.
you're in town,
Yep.
pick a couple bars,
Yep.
and you'll
Exactly.
save money.
Yep.
Plus you're donating.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Plus you're donating. Yeah. That's excellent.
We're really excited about it. And, the places that we've talked to that, there's been already 2 bars that we've had to bring more cards to because they sold out. And so I think it's gonna allow us to increase. On average, we give about $25,000 a year on average back. And I'm thinking that with this, we'll be able to really
Wow.
hopefully increase that
Yeah.
number.
That's incredible.
We want to give more.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Like, do you have like some long-term goals of how you want this to look? I mean, it's kind of interesting because you start out, you have a golf tournament, you make some money.
Yeah.
You're like, I hope somebody applies.
Yeah.
And then, it's growing to where now you always have applications, and that'll keep increasing, as I'm sure. And as things get more expensive and it's harder to come by things for these activities, what are do you want to have an endowment at some point? Do you want to?
We talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talk about different things all the time, and it's year by year because we have evolved so much. I mean, our first year, we had $8,000
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
quickly.
to give away for the whole year, and now we have a significant amount more that we can give out, and we want to even make it more. So we've talked about endowment. I don't know what our future goals would be.
Yeah, I mean, just to keep growing the footprint and the awareness of it for it does kind of seem that it's the same people have come to us quite a
Right,
bit,
right.
and we have had to tell certain sports that we try to spread the money around. More so a few years ago when we were still growing that.
Yes.
But yeah, we've grown that account now pretty good, and but I understand also that like robotics needs a lot more money than speech,
Yeah.
right? I mean, they just do.
Yep.
And so we get that the need is greater there, type of deal. But also we try to spread that money out. But now that we've grown, we'll be able to give more and more to more and more. And I would say for me the long-term goal is, and in fact we kind of just talked about this, was keep growing it, and then at some point we want to bring in the next generation and kind of show them what our vision always was. Let them see that. Let them make kind of make their path, and then fade off, I guess.
Well, yeah, and I guess we never really covered that. Your board is made up of Princeton alumni.
Yes.
Correct? And
Yep.
that's a criteria to be on the board?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and how big is your board?
We have a 9-person board.
Okay. And so are you consistently looking for new people, or are you just kind of,
It's been the same.
It's been the same.
Yeah, so that's nice.
We brought in, we started out, and I think we've basically brought in, a couple new people
Yeah.
type of deal. And it's a really good board right now. It
Yeah.
really is. We're all, aside from being, good people and friends, I was just thinking about our board not too long ago. We're a good diverse board in the sense that, everybody has strengths and weaknesses. And I feel that where a weakness is, we have those strengths.
Yeah.
And so we've got people that are maybe more involved with the TAF. And then we've got people that are happy to be a part of it and that are there to do whatever's needed.
Yes.
Right? They don't necessarily want to be decision makers. They want to, what do we need to do to make this
boots on the
a
ground type of
successful
thing?
type? Yep, exactly. And, a few of us are people persons, but I can hardly turn a computer on, right?
Right.
And then that's where my weakness is her strength. 'Cause
Yes.
She does a great job with all the shout outs of, of our sponsors or things like that. And then, we've got a banker that takes care of all of our financials. We've got Dylan Donner, who's like
Dylan.
Dylan.
That's all you got to say.
He does all of our tax paperwork.
does all of our
Stuff,
tax
state
preparations
stuff.
and makes sure that we're following rules and stuff. We do. We have monthly meetings. We have meeting minutes. We have we follow all the rules of what we have to do, and registered. Dylan makes sure that we toe the line.
Yeah.
And because God knows a few of us would be.
He shares that with me. Yeah. That he toes the line.
Yeah. So he keeps us in check
Yep.
and in line. But
Make sure that we don't go on a vacation
Yeah,
together.
exactly.
As a group.
But
Yeah.
no, we've got a good board right now, and I don't know where the future will take it all, but I think we kind of were talking the other day that someday we'll be ready to fade off into the sunset and hopefully have built the Alumni Foundation into something that this town can rely on and be proud of.
Yep.
That it can continue to support and grow.
Absolutely.
Type of deal.
I'm trying to recruit my oldest Jake into being a member, and I was telling him, and Mom and Dad were big part of the Ronald McDonald
Yes.
tournament, and then their generation handed it off to the kids, and then their kids kind of took it over, and then that group, then it kind of shifted into the Karen Bromberg Memorial until that was endowed, and now I think this is the new big thing in Princeton, and the greatest thing about this is that it impacts so many different groups.
It's great.
It's not just, Ronald McDonald is amazing.
Yep.
What they do is amazing, but all of that money went there.
Yeah, right.
And this money stays in Princeton.
Yep. And impacts so many kids.
So many different, so
Which
many
is
different groups.
Yep. So if somebody wanted to donate or help after they listen to this podcast, you said you have a Venmo. You have Facebook.
Yep. Follow us on Facebook.
Okay.
We often will throw our Venmo on there, and then we will remember to put it in the comments when this gets aired.
Yep. Perfect.
Yep.
So my last question is, if someone is listening right now and wants to support the Tiger Alumni Foundation, what would be the next best step for them?
Contact one of us.
Do you need help at the golf tournament, or do you need help with, could people volunteer outside of being on the board, or?
We have all of that covered pretty well.
Yeah.
So we're really good about the groups we give the donations to. So for example, we have just approved a donation to the girls' fast pitch team, and we've also supported the baseball team recently as well. So we ask those groups to work our tournament.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
So we give them money, and then they run our tournament.
Very cool.
Or help run
Yeah,
the holes and the games and stuff. They just help out on the course.
Yeah, volunteer at the tournament, just to run games or to be a gopher, to run things wherever they need. But, and it's kind of a twofold deal because it helps us, but it also, I think it helps kids to understand that you should maybe work for things a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And they kind of get that, like, hey, these guys really helped us out. Robotics has done our last couple tournaments, and they did just a wonderful job. We gave them quite a bit of money, and they came and they did a great job.
That's awesome.
And it gets these kids, we'll talk to the kids and say, hey, every dollar raised on this hole is yours, right? Because we buy candy and water or whatever, and we have these donation holes, and so we tell these kids, like, every dollar that you guys can, this is free.
Right.
Give these golfers a free candy bar and a free water, whatever they want, we don't care. Eat it if you want, we don't care, right?
Yeah.
But every dollar that's raised on these two holes is your money, and we always tell them, put your outgoing, I'm just breaking everything, put your kids that are, personable and that are
right.
And
comfortable
Make
with
a
that.
good name for your sport or your
Yeah,
activity.
exactly.
Represent.
But then you also get the shy kids, and you pull up to a hole and you say, hey, this is what you're doing. And it's probably a good value to the kid to deal with golfers all day.
Exactly.
And say, hey, you want to play this beanbag game, or you want to do this, or you want to support that. And so it's a good partnership. It's a great thing that I think helps them, helps us, and in the end they get money. And
that's a great idea. So ultimately, anybody in the community could donate. That would be awesome, just to help continue to build it up.
I mean, 100% of this goes back.
Attend the sign up for the golf tournament,
Yep.
attend the Kentucky Derby party, buy bar cards. I mean, so
Share our
there's
Facebook page
yeah,
out there. We
lots
really
of ways
want-
to support.
We were talking about goals, and what one of my goals has always been is to really reach out to alumni
Right.
and let them know that we're here. And, so hopefully with the all-class reunion
Yeah.
coming up, we will be able to let everybody know. And,
Yep.
I mean, there have been a lot of really successful people
From
come out
our
of Princeton High School.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'd really like to reach them and hey, have you ever thought about giving back
this
and
would be a
supporting
great way.
us? And
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited for that reunion. And then, I remember the first few years of the alumni. How many times did you get asked, what is this?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
What is this? And
Yep.
what do you do, right? And so to be able to have that night or that weekend that a lot of them will be back in town and say, hey, you were going to be answering that question a lot
Yeah.
again. But the first 3 years that we were around, people came to our golf tournament the first 3 years. And on the third or fourth year, they said, we don't even really know what you guys do.
We're just here to have fun.
We're just here to have fun. And we don't know what you guys do.
Yeah.
But, then once that gets out and once people understand, they're usually pretty supportive
Yeah.
of it and pretty behind that and think that's a pretty cool deal. I'll tell you, I've had St. Francis, North Branch, Becker, and Big Lake people reach out to me to ask and say, can I pick your brain? Wherever they got my number or what name, whatever, but I've had 4 different communities reach out and say, we heard about this. Can I just pick your brain? How'd you guys start? What do you guys do? And so I gladly share with them.
That's
But
great.
Yeah, it would be nice. I mean, I feel like every high school should have this, and I don't think very many do.
Right.
I mean, our idea stemmed from colleges
Yeah.
because, I graduated from Mankato, and I still get alumni stuff.
Yes.
To give
Yeah.
back to Mankato, and it's like, why can't we do this for high school?
And I always think, I gave you enough money while I was there when I get those every time. But Princeton, gladly give back to my high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. I love it. Well, you guys have done a fantastic job of this. I know it's a lot of work. It's taken, think of 7 years, what you've built. That's not a real long time. I mean, I know
No.
it probably feels like it, but that
And it's
is,
just starting to get, I mean, I shouldn't say it's just starting to get out there, but, you'll hear people talk about TAF.
right.
And that's us.
Yeah, so
TAF
we
is
should
what
probably
people
mention
know.
that at
Yeah.
TAF. Yep, exactly. Yeah, so, and we're excited to have you at the reunion too, so
You bet.
that'll be fun. So, well, thanks for being here, Eric. We really appreciate it. We know you had to take some time off and from another job, so we appreciate you doing that. So, until next time, this is Kim and Mary signing off. This is Princeton. Stay here,
Play here.